the thing I want to talk about is really the one skill, the one key skill for startup success. Within the customer development story, within the startup story, I believe there is one key competence or competency that we need to develop that will allow us to be successful and in our startup journey. Now, a startup is an organization formed to search for a repeatable and scalable business model. The keywords there, the one in red for me is the most important one, is the thing about search. The difference between a startup and a normal business is a normal business is already set. What you're searching then is for customers or suppliers. But for a startup, you're searching for a repeatable business model. And therefore, then you need a systematic process to learn and to discover, to keep iterating. So then you're able to discover the customer, his proclivity to pay, the channels to use, the cost centers, the value prop, whether it's right, the different types of buyers. So you're always searching. And so the word search for me, I think is the key thing about the startup. Now we may or may not know, but as per Steve Blank, this is what he has as his customer development journey, where you're discovering customers, you're then validating the customers you've discovered, you're then creating a customer and going to the market and getting them on board where they become your customers. And then you're building a company. And there is the opportunity to pivot initially at the first stage. And you soon find out by the time you're going into customer creation and company building, you're still going to be searching. But at that point, you're searching for different things, for different strategies, for different markets. So it's that key thing around search that then becomes the bedrock of, if you want to succeed as a startup, as a business entrepreneur, as a founder, search is the key thing that you need to have your mind on. Searching is the key competency that you need to be able to develop. There's a famous, let me not say famous, infamous rapper is called DOC. He was in an accident and lost his tongue just before his career. He lost his voice before his career picked up. But if you know Snoop Dogg, he's the one who taught Snoop Dogg how to write. And before he lost his voice, he said, if knowledge is the key, hard work is the fee. So knowing the customer development process is the key. But doing customer development is where the game is really at, yeah? And the work in doing customer development is developing, creating, and running effective tests, because it's through tests that you discover, that you uncover, that you validate, invalidate your decisions, your choices, and allows you to be data-driven in whatever business you're doing. So my focus will literally be on how to create this particular hypothesis. Now, I must also confess that I'm not a native English speaker. So for many years, the word hypothesis, I could never understand it. I always confused between hypothesis, synthesis, antithesis. Yeah, I could never get what this hypo thing is, yeah? But essentially, a hypothesis is explaining a matter, what you think of a matter at the end, and then you go and prove it or disprove it, yeah? And so that's what I want to look at. Now, in order for you to be hypothesis-driven, or to be search-oriented, I think is what I'm trying to say, is you need a framework that can help you learn, experiment based on the evidence that you're beginning to see. Then you make observations about what's happening in the world around you. You form an explanation. That explanation is like the hypothesis. Then you explain what the hypothesis sort of explains what you've observed. Then you then go and test it by collecting data and trying to predict particular outcome based on what you're looking for. So in essence, you're explaining a phenomenon based on what you think has caused the phenomenon, and then you go look for data to prove or disprove what you've just explained. So a good example is this tree that I have for you. Sorry. Oh, something is moving. If I move the flowers to an area of the garden with the most daily sunlight, then the flowers will grow. Yeah. If I develop a mobile app and move from WhatsApp, then my transactions will grow. That's for Shahid. or my customer relationship will be better. If I plant all the same types of flowers together, then those flowers will grow faster. Yeah. Another hypothesis for one of you would be, if I flip from a technical pitch to a business pitch, then I'll close business deals faster. So you're hypothesizing, you're creating an explanation, which you will then go out and test. If I add nutrients to the left side of the garden, then those flowers will grow faster than the ones on the right. So you're creating these scenarios, these opinions, which you're then putting on paper and you're articulating them. So then you can go gather evidence and see where that evidence takes you. If I position my diabetic solution to pharmaceutical rather than to customers, then I will move more business than if I go direct. Now, based on that, then you begin to make a move. So in essence, hypothesis is an unproven explanation. You're explaining something but you haven't proven it yet. A statement made with limited knowledge about a given situation that requires validation to be confirmed as true or false, to such a degree where the team can continue the investigation or find the best solution to a given problem. Now, this particular skill will be so important because you'll keep doing it anytime anybody has an idea. You go test it. In fact, the faster you're able to test, the better. Some organizations test 3 times a week. Some organizations test on their website twice every month. So the faster you keep testing, the faster you keep learning, the faster you pivot, the faster you iterate. Now, a product hypothesis statement can come in different forms. You pick what's most comfortable to your business. Some details would be the feature or solution, the person you're targeting, the benefit, and the outcome. And this is how then you would position it. So a simple statement might look like this, that we believe that particular business outcome will be achieved if a business user does a particular thing to attain a particular benefit with a particular feature. Yeah. If you take the other one, it'd be something like, but we believe that the guy with who sells books, the publisher, I forget his name from the last session we had, that we believe that we believe that selling books offline, direct to schools, will achieve greater revenue for us. We will know that we are successful when 100 schools take our solution within 1 month. Now, based on that, then you now go into the field. You take your pipeline of 100 schools and you do it offline, you don't do anything online. So that way you've tested whether an offline model will help you scale. You can have an antithesis to that and you can say that we believe that selling books online to this particular, selling books online to students will achieve higher sales. We will know this if we're successful when we're able to achieve 1,000 units in 1 month. That way then you can go out and test that. So that's the examples I've used for the bookseller or the publisher who wants to do his go-to-market and he's trying to figure which is the best way to go to market. And it could be in any form or fashion. But the structure of the statements there is what allows you to be able to articulate it better. I prefer the one to the red because the red has how you will measure. How will you know that you are successful? We will know we are successful when this happens. So when you're forming your hypothesis, then you're looking at the problem, the users, the benefit, the assumptions, and what will be proven. And then you do your assessment on that. You run your test on that. And always start by de-risking. The startup journey, always de-risking. You're looking for what's the riskiest assumption so that you can bring it down. Final example would be how much to increase the number of overdraft applications on a mobile, or for the case that we just had, how do we increase the usage, the access to credit to people. We believe that an increase in overdraft of 25% will be achieved if customers can go often to overdrawn. Will be achieved if customers that often go overdrawn can apply for flexible short-term loan with a quick apply mobile overdraft feature. The experiment then is we intend to validate by building a simple one-tap application that gives us the result. And that way you'll be able to validate. Thank you.